This is you. And this is your worldview. Your worldview or philosophy of life represents your most fundamental beliefs about the basic makeup of reality. It reflects how you would answer all the big questions of human existence. What kind of substances exist fundamentally? Does God exist? Or is everything physical? What is the ultimate nature of reality? What is the nature and origin of the universe? What are humans? Are we just highly evolved biological machines? Or is there something else? Do we have free will? And is there life after death? What is good and bad? What is right and wrong? And what does it mean to live a good life? What personal, life-orienting commitments are consistent with my worldview? How should I act and live? And where are we supposed to look to know what's true in the first place? Science? Faith? Logic? These are the elements of your worldview and they are highly interrelated. For example, you might believe that God exists. This belief obviously influences what you think about all the other elements. About morality. About human nature. About the correct source of knowledge. So, your worldview is an overall perspective on everything that exists and matters to us, and it is similar to a pair of glasses with colored lenses. We often forget that we are wearing them, and the same goes for your worldview. It usually sits in the background of your thought, and normally you look through it, rather than directly at it. Additionally, like colored lenses, your worldview shapes how you see and interpret the world. For example, suppose that one day you meet an old guru, sitting under a tree. You talk to him and he tells you that he didn't eat or drink anything for the last 70 years. Depending on the color of your lenses, your worldview, your background assumptions about the nature of reality, the nature universe, the nature of humans and so forth, strongly influence how you interpret this situation. As I just explained, your worldview reflects your most fundamental and significant beliefs. And those beliefs have implications for almost everything else you believe. So, if you care whether the claims you make are correct and if you think that truth is important in itself, you already have one reason to carefully examine your worldview. However, what you believe also influences how you behave. And it clearly matters how you behave. Therefore, worldviews aren't just theoretical constructs. They have an impact on the world around us. This is especially true when we are concerned with your fundamental beliefs about what is right and wrong. Your worldview largely determines what you think about things like abortion, euthanasia, same-sex relationships, the use of military force, environmentalism or animal rights. Gandhi had a worldview and held certain beliefs. Accordingly, he brought about specific actions and consequences. Hitler had a very different worldview and held very different beliefs. Unsurprisingly, his actions and behavior differed significantly as well. When worldviews are put into action, they can either do great harm or tremendous good. Additionally, your worldview also has important implications for the shape of your personal life. For example, you might, consciously or subconsciously, believe that monetary success is the most important thing in life. Consequently, you might spend all your energy, time and life years to pursue a successful but miserable career so you can buy status symbols and luxury cars. Or, because of your worldview, you might believe that defending your nation is the most important thing in life. As a result, you might risk, and even sacrifice your own life for this belief. These seem to be the kind of questions that matter more to us than anything else. If there is anything we truly care about in life, it is that ourselves, and no one else, acts in a way that causes tremendous harm to others. Furthermore, we don't want to wake up one morning to realize that all our past goals and life decisions were a complete lie. Therefore, it seems important for us to get these things right. Now, you will be pretty sure that you are not acting in a way that is immoral, and that the goals you set for yourself are in fact worth pursuing. However, how much time did you ever spend to actively think about, and question, your worldview? Since our worldview is so fundamental to everything in our lives, it is odd that people give it so little attention. Hardly anyone has spent a single serious moment thinking about their philosophy of life. Yet, everyone has a worldview, whether they are conscious of it, or not. You might argue that you do not, because you think that many of these big questions cannot be answered with any certainty. However, this position itself is a sort of worldview, a form of skepticism. If you cannot articulate your worldview, then you probably just have a poorly reasoned one, mostly borrowed from your surroundings, your peers, and random experiences, rather than from careful thought. Many people just plug a religion, a factory-made product, into their lives, maybe with a few unskilled adjustments of their own, and never think about whether it is well constructed or true. Others might take a quick look around and throw pieces from existing products together, without any careful investigation. The general population has lost interest, and philosophers are largely to blame. Philosophers' only useful role in society is to help us all to understand ourselves and the world. However, the philosophical discussion, which is often concerned with largely useless details, has moved to ivory towers, doing nothing useful for the public. The purpose of this channel is to change that. I am a philosopher and my goal is to encourage you to justify your own beliefs, to develop a sensible philosophy of life and to find valuable personal goals. To do this, I will present you my own complete and thought-through philosophy of life. It is unlikely that I will always be right, and you may disagree with some parts. However, that is fine. Because the goal here is to help you to reflect on and develop your own worldview, and not to convince you of everything I claim. Additionally, I am also a life coach. In a second step, I want to give you concrete and specific advice to achieve a life in accordance with the worldview I present here, and to reach those goals. Maybe you agree with the goals and commitments that follow from the philosophy of life I defend, but you are unsure how to reach these goals or you feel as though you lack the required willpower or mental resources. I am the Philog. If you liked this first video, and if you would like to see more, feel free to like or subscribe. See you next time.